Hello mga beshi! Kamusta naman kayo? We are back at the second installment of our Zoomers episode. These are your resident chikadoras.
I am JLo.
I am V.
And this is Quarantita. Ayan.
So recap muna tayo, besh, nung nakaraang episode.
Interesting yung last episode, kasi diba, we had several speakers. Tapos, napaka-inspiring lang ng mga stories nila, how they started. So, yung mga napulot natin from last episode, yung it's never too early to start an initiative. Like, your age does not really define your capability to start an initiative. Kasi, di ba, for example, Miss Macy, she started her initiative, high school pa lang siya noon. Second year yata siya, grade 8. Grade 8 pala. Grade 8 siya noon. So, it's never really too early to start an initiative. And also, based din sa sinabi ni Miss Ali na it's not really tiring sa isang initiative. Kasi parang you don't have to carry all the burden to yourself. Kasi you have other people to help you also. You have other people to guide you through the entire process. And at the end of the day, may fulfillment talaga. Especially if you see na yung target community nyo, you see a lot of improvement, you see relief, you see the benefits, di ba, na nakukuha nila because of your initiative. So, it's really amazing to, have an initiative or to be part of an organization that tackles an initiative, di ba?
So, ayun, magkakaroon tayo ng sa pang set ngayon ng interviewees. We will have 2 interviewees from different organizations, Hygiene Heroes and the Initiative PH. And without further ado,
so hello mga beshies! So our guest speaker for today is a health sciences student at the Ateneo de Manila University. He is the Vice President for Training and Development at Ateneo Biological Organization, and ultimately, he is the current country lead for Hygiene Heroes in the Philippines. So without further ado, I will introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Larry Miguel Acuna. Yay! Hello po!
Yay! Hi! Hello! Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you din po for lending us your time and for lending us your expertise. Ganun. So, how are you po recently, especially with the pandemic? How are you holding up?
Well, so far okay naman. Been, balancing ACADS with all the other commitments, no. But overall, yeah, I've been managing naman and able to do the things naman na kayang gawin. Yeah, it's been hard lang kasi with transitioning from the home setup, no. Kaya ayun. Yeah, coping naman, yeah.
Relate po. We're glad to know that you're doing okay naman. But Larry, can you tell us po, what is Hygiene Heroes about po? Can you give us a background of the organization?
Okay, sige. Hygiene Heroes kasi originally it came from the United States, no. The very first team of Hygiene Heroes is from UC Berkeley in California, and they really aimed to make interactive curricula, no, for underprivileged population. So they started out as a group of students under a thesis, with Professor David Levine, and they reached out to India to make a curriculum. The very first curriculum was on hand washing, so teaching them how to wash hands, what are the things that you need to make sure you have when you wash your hands, and also reinforcing habits. So that started around 7 years ago, and then back in 2019, Hygiene Heroes reached out to the Philippines, to also adopt this hand washing curriculum. So that happened 2 years ago, and last year to 2020, they also reached out again to develop a COVID-19 curriculum, for Filipino children. And we've been working on that for the past year or so. And it's really talking about how the information about COVID-19, yung like what are the precautions that you need to do. And it's also centralized. The curriculum is central to hand washing and hygiene. So we've been working with schools and also communities over the past few months in co-developing the curriculum, and we're already in the process of finalizing it and giving it out on a larger
Oh,
scale.
that's nice.
Yeah, 'di ba? So over a year now we've been working on that. Tapos what else? We're also working on a vaccine curriculum. But it's still in the process of development. But the main thing that we want to address there is vaccine misinformation and vaccine hesitancy, no? And trying to also increase the confidence of our population in taking the vaccines. Yeah. So, yun, that's the brief background of Hygiene Heroes. So, it started out in the United States. They also branched out to other countries such as Cambodia, India, South America, no, and also the Philippines. And they're also growing, no, because it's a global initiative as well. So yeah, we're a branch of the original Hygiene Heroes team in UC Berkeley, and we've been working with them as well, no, with all the things that we've been doing for the past few years.
Ayan. So, grabe, no? I really appreciate these initiatives. Kasi, di ba, parang sometimes nakakaligtaan natin. Like, for us, it's just a simple thing. Like, for example, hand washing, maintaining proper hygiene, ganun. Parang, it's such a simple thing. Sometimes we take for granted. Pero yung impact pala nun, especially with the current pandemic, grabe yung impact nun. And, as in, thank you so much for these initiatives po. And, grabe, nakaka-inspire na there are actually people who are, taking initiatives to also fight misinformation, especially with the grabe yung vaccine hesitancy sa country natin. So, grabe. So, what inspired you po to join Hygiene Heroes?
Well, as a health sciences major, no, very focused kasi kami on the public health aspect on health, no, not just the biomedical. So I saw that Hygiene Heroes could be an opportunity for me and also for my fellow interns as well to apply these skills in the real world, no. Like especially ako personally, I also have a affinity to education, no, on health communication and education. It's really important for you to be able to establish yung information that you could give to the target audience, empowering them, giving them the ability to understand what are the options that they can do so that they can improve their health. So that's really my main motivator on why I joined Hygiene Heroes, and eventually I also led the initiative na here in the Philippines. Yeah, so that's like my main motivation.
So, ano po yung ibang mga initiative po na na-accomplish na so far? Can you tell us about your biggest achievement?
Okay. Ano ba? Siguro the biggest achievement for now, no, is the being able to finalize a full-blown COVID-19 curriculum, no, for Filipino children. Because when we started on this was back in June 2020, no. So that's like the core of the pandemic, no. We really had to make this in the sense that a lot of people don't know how to be protected against COVID-19, and especially for the younger ones because they're very vulnerable to this virus. So what we did is we adopted some general the general practices, especially in hygiene, hand washing, even the government protocols like physical distancing, yung avoiding touching the surfaces, wearing a mask. So these fundamentals were incorporated into this curriculum. And what we did is we also pilot tested it to some areas. So meron tayong home-based na parents. We also did it in a school, no, that disseminated it to some students, and we got feedback na it's very good. And then there are also some tweaks that are recommended, such as making it a bit shorter, more interactive styles, no. So, in the end, no, for the whole year, we're proud to say na it's already finished. We just have to
Wow.
make, di ba? So, ano na, validation.
Yes.
Oo.
So fast.
And then we can, the plan is to integrate it with either communities or schools in their own information dissemination drive. So like for schools, they can put it in their health, ano yun, yung health class nila. Tapos for communities, no, give it to parents para ituro sa mga children nila. So, those are like the main, yung main na mangyayari right after we finalized. I mean, it's finalized already. So validation, and then we can give it out. So yeah, the fruits of our labor, no, for over a year working in this online setup, no, has finally paid off.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations po.
That's so nice po, no? Like, you're making a lot of progress
Yes,
in a relatively short time. Congratulations po. I actually saw yung, I think, kayong children's books na sa hand washing. It's actually very
Yes.
cute. Nakakatuwa siya. Pampakat sa mga bata, hindi nang maintindihan.
Truly.
Oo. Yeah, because yung how Hygiene Heroes makes their materials, no? We want to make it also interactive for them. Kasi mahirap yung magbabasa ka ng puro text. Like, for example, yung mga, if you're familiar dun sa, if you just go to the CDC website or the WHO website, it's all scientific facts and paragraphs, no? It's hard for you to communicate it to children. So, yun, we really try to make it an interactive curricula. So, stories, meron din mga dances, videos, no? Para mas, the information is, tumatak yung information dun sa audience without really thinking about na we're just reading like a chapter of a book. So yeah, it's more authentic, the connection with them. So yeah.
I really appreciate those efforts po. Kasi 'di ba, as science folks, parang one of our job aside from doing research, aside from doing things for the betterment and for the progress of society, parang we need to disseminate the information also. And not only disseminate, pero kailangan i-disseminate natin siya properly with the proper medium, proper way, para naman appealing and mas understandable for the general masses. So thank you so much for that po. And we want to know po, what do you foresee in the future of Hygiene Heroes Philippines?
Okay. Alam mo, honestly, there are a lot of avenues for us to tackle, no? Like, for example, should we go partner with the Department of Education or the Department of Health, no? So, the main direction that we're going towards is to possibly institutionalize some of the curriculum nga. So, maybe it can be adopted through school districts, or possibly the curriculum itself can be a part of it is adopted into the official curriculum. So that's for the schools naman. As for the communities, no, our aim really is to provide these materials for free, no. It's 100% free. It even has, like, you can edit it accordingly, no, like a Creative Commons license. Kasi yung making the materials itself, like the vectors, the information gathering the information in the modules, no. We also source that for free naman din. So why not provide these materials for free? So yun nga, going back to the areas, no, like yung underprivileged populations, like yung the urban poor, even to the provinces na don't have direct access to information like this, no. So yun yung goal namin, to where the materials would be. And as well as I think maybe you saw that we have a Facebook page as well. It's something new that we did, sabi namin, because maybe a lot of people also access Facebook to get their information. So why not also contribute in that aspect as well. So yun, the plan in the future, um as well as also touching on other important topics on hygiene and hand washing, such as nutrition, or pwede ring environmental hygiene. Depends on what is going to be the important topics to tackle now in the next few years, kasi the pandemic is here. The pandemic is ayan, basta the pandemic, hindi lang yan mawawala, di ba? So, um, we have to also adjust accordingly kung ano yung mangyayari in the next few years.
So I'm loving your vision for the future, and also the things that you're doing right now. They're so inspiring. Ang dami niyo talagang nagagawa in very short span of time. Like, wow, okay. What's your advice po to those interested po in starting their own organizations?
So, ano ba? Personally kasi, when you do these things, when you start an organization or you work for an organization, it really comes down to your passion for helping others. I think that is, for me personally, that should be yung pag-iisipan nyo always na when you work in an organization or starting an organization. Because with passion, it also boils down to how committed you are or how willing you are to do things for you to deliver yung advocacy mo. So like for example, here in Hygiene Heroes, my personal passion is to be able to empower everyone to have better health outcomes, to empower them with better health information and more informed decisions, no? And using that passion to drive how you can do these things in the future will really be helpful when you work in the organization. So yeah, that's the really important thing, and then the rest follows, no? Like you can also find fellow friends or fellow people that have the same passions and ambitions, no? And that will really drive how the organization can also give an impact to your target audience. So yeah, personally for me, the bottom line is you have to look at your passion, your goal, your advocacy, and then work from there. So yeah, that's my tip for those who want to start an organization.
Wow.
That's so cool. Thank you po.
Thank you po. Ang ganda nung
Wise words.
Yeah, very wise words mga beshies. And 'di ba, sa course of our interview, parang we get to see that there are a lot of initiatives, 'di ba? Like throughout our initiative series, we get to see na for every initiatives have their own parang focus. 'Di ba? We had our initiative na before for mental health, meron for women in science. Tapos right now the initiative is for 'di ba, public health, ganun. So napakaraming pwedeng initiatives na umpisahan. Hindi siya nalilimit into certain certain topics, certain tawag dyan, certain topics or certain problems that we currently have. So marami pong pwedeng initiatives. And lastly po, we're really enjoying this interview, and we really got very good responses po. Marami po kaming natututunan sa mga responses niyo po. But before we formally end this interview, do you want to plug anything po with regards to your organization and advocacies? And what could our listeners do to get involved?
Okay. Yes. So well, first of all, I hope that you could also like the Hygiene Heroes Philippines Facebook page. No, we post their information content every now and then. No, we also put snippets of the curriculum there, and I hope that you could also share the post as well to share the information with all your friends, your families. No, and also we also have the free curriculum that's up on the Hygiene Heroes website as well as yung Facebook page. Now, feel free to use that to give it to those who need it. I think that information will really come a long way and possibly be life-saving. And also shout out na rin to the Hygiene Heroes Philippines team,
Yes.
no? Good, yes. All of their hard work, hindi ko lang kayang gawin to on my own, no? So all of their hard work, their perseverance and commitment for the past few months really shows how this initiative really is very important in this in this time of the pandemic. So ayun, yeah, those are hopefully magawa niyo, no, na to like, share, and always remember that health is not necessarily just about being healthy, not just about the medicines, no, but it's something greater. It's beyond medicine. It's beyond it's everything. You just think about on how everything can impact your health, no, sa person. So yeah, yes. Yeah.
Thank you po.
Thank you so much po. We would like to thank you po for especially sharing your time with us and for lending us such inspiring and enriching responses po. We really learned a lot po sa ating interview for today. Thank you so much po, Sir Larry.
Yes, thank you din for this opportunity.
So, for those who would want to look at the website of Hygiene Heroes at saka sa Facebook page, so their links will be posted here din po sa pub ng Quaranchika. So, ayun. So, mga beshies, for today's episode, we have another speaker. So, our speaker is the head of the Department of Children's Rights in the Initiative PH. So, the Department of Children's Rights serves as the branch of the Initiative PH under the advocacy-based departments that focuses its efforts on the welfare of children in specific targeted communities in the country and conservation of the rights of the children in the Philippines. So, this department, mga beshies, they exist to organize external efforts. So, yung mga external efforts, ito yung mga campaigns, conventions, and projects, as well as the internal efforts. So, yung internal efforts, ito yung mga seminars, trainings, at saka consultations. So, this is all done for the benefit of their advocacy, which is the welfare and development of the children. So, our speaker for today, mga beshies, is none other than Rafael Canalita. Yay!
Hello, hi everybody.
So, how are you doing po, especially with this, with the pandemic, with the quarantine? How are you doing? How are you holding up with the current setup po?
Very tough question, but doing great naman. You know how steady state of balance lang. Though, may ups and downs here and there. Nakakaano naman, getting by. Thanks for asking.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, kasi 'di ba parang ang hirap ng setup this pandemic, and lahat tayo nahihirapan kasi parang it was a very sudden shift, 'di ba, from the usual thing or from the normal that we were used to. So, isang mahigpit na yakap po. We will get through this. Ayan.
So, can you tell us more about the background of the Initiatives PH and the current projects that you're working on?
Okay, sige. So, again, the Initiative PH is a non-profit organization that synergizes young people's development initiatives for communities experiencing poverty, exclusion, vulnerability, and insecurity. So, that's the formal definition. But the Initiative PH actually is, we are an organization talaga that's really made up of many different departments. I happen to be the head of the Department of Children's Rights. Though we have other departments like we have DSR, Department of Soji Rights. We have Department of Animal Environmental Welfare, no? So parang kami, parang just imagine us as a big organization pero marami kaming different initiatives for different departments. No? And each department has its own projects, no? Very notable yung projects namin sa we have project called Project Pagsibol, right? So yung Project Pagsibol, so yun yung initially kasi last year, yung Project Pagsibol para siyang relief program for farmers in Nueva Vizcaya. But right now, it serves as a parang nagiging more of a project siya, parang partnership na siya with these certain communities so that constant yung relief na binibigyan namin sa kanila and eventually help them develop their own tawag dito, parang mas develop pa yung agricultural technologies nila, no? So that, di ba, kasi since most of our farmers, no, are not really supported, so we try our best to help support them in ways that we can. So that's one, no, Project Pagsibol. We also have Project Lumad, no? Project Lumad, medyo matagal na rin siya. Yeah, matagal na rin siya actually, no? It started actually like years back, but ever since the pandemic started, it's really more of relief efforts than for Lumad, Bakwit Lumad children, no. So we coordinate with them constantly, no, on things that they need and stuff like that. Ano pa ba? We have another great project, no. We have Project Esip. It's a project naman na it helps students who are thinking of applying for a college, no, before yung tawag dito, tinanggal yung mga entrance exam, ginagawa ng Project Exit, like tutor ng kids, no, so that they could pass and stuff like that. But right now, they revamped, no, it became a parang buddy system na lang with the children, helping them with their application forms, ganon, kung saan nila gusto mag-apply, sige, tutulungan natin. So, ganun siya. We have many other different projects in store pa, but it's still in the works, no? But these are the ones na very prominent as of the moment. So, yeah.
These projects po are done simultaneously?
Yeah, they're done simultaneously under different departments.
It's a really big organization din. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
super complicated and sabay.
At least you're doing good for the nation naman.
Yes, thank you so much.
So, napaka-impressive mga beshies, ano? And, considering po sa laki ng scope nyo at saka sa dami po ng projects, grabe po, parang saludo po ako sa inyo. And also po pala, we would like to know what inspired you to join the Initiative PH po.
So, I joined kasi the Initiative PH around 2 years ago, no? I was how do you say this, no? Baguhan pa lang sa mga advocacy eme na yan. Parang, I was like, okay, gusto ko lang mag-try mag-volunteer, Alam mo yung mga pag-volunteer ka, parang go to communities, tas bigay ka ng pagkain. That's what I expected to do. Parang, kala ko ganun yung work initially, right? And going into the Initiative PH, yun yung mindset ko. But, I did realize, the reason why I really joined is not just because of that, but as months went by and I'm in this organization for 2 years now. My purpose changed. It's not really to experience volunteering, but to actually live out volunteering. That's what I realized. And I do think na the first time that I joined the Initiative PH, I think I had that idea within me. It's not just well-developed pa.
It's relatable po, no? Like, yun talaga yung unang naiisip pag sinabing volunteering. And then when you start volunteering, you realize it's not just like that, it's something more. So, what is the most fulfilling thing about being in the Initiative PH?
Okay, very fulfilling thing. Okay. honest answer, no, very fulfilling thing talaga is to be able to meet partner communities talaga. That's really like I think one of the best things. Kasi my own philosophy for volunteering talaga is really building connections talaga with people, with partner communities, right? And it really goes back to the main reason why I started, is that I just really wanted to experience, but at a deeper sense, I wanted to really get to know the people, the sector that we talk about, like sino ba itong mga partner communities natin, sino ba itong mga taong mga who we choose to serve, right? And the most fulfilling thing niya talaga is when I actually get to meet them. The first time kasi I joined the Initiative PH. One of the first projects that I've ever done is that we took these kids from Barangay Daan Tubo from Katipunan kasi sila Barangay Daan Tubo. And nagkaroon kami ng parang nagpartner kasi kami with this I don't know how to explain this. Pero para siyang playground. Parang parkour. Alam niyo, mga parkour. Jumping through walls, stuff like that. Mga ganun. Mga parkour. Parkour siya indoor parkour. Ninja Academy yung pangalan. Ninja Academy. Basta ninja stuff yun. But we partnered up with Ninja Academy. Tapos, they asked na if we could bring some kids from Dantubo so that they could play sa playground nila, no? Puro parkour, no? Puro mga jump rope, hindi naman jump rope. Ano yan? Trampoline, yung mga ganong bagay. Mga climbing the wall. Ganun. And for me, no, as my first experience in volunteering talaga, like, I really got to meet the kids and experience like really talking to them firsthand, seeing them, how they play, like just letting them loose and just letting them experience being a child. It was so fulfilling kasi it's like, I helped make this happen, no? Make them happy for at least for a day, no? Like just let them run wild and let loose. So that's why nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, no, super na disheartened ako kasi how could we ever meet partner communities again? But, we find ways. We find ways.
So, ayan. So, what do you foresee po in the future of the IPH?
In the future, very tough question. Parang Miss Universe, what do I see in the future? Okay. So, please give me another minute to answer. Joke lang. Ganito. In the future talaga, if I'm going to be honest, it's going to be lots of challenges. Like, advocacy work, volunteer work, it's never easy when you really think about the people that you're serving, like it's never just organizing a relief effort. It's never just organizing the transportation for the kids so that they could go to Ninja Academy. It's never just that. You also have to think, what are the systems and policies we have in place that will ensure that we give our best, not just to our partner communities, but also to our members as well. To think of how can we still sustain their energy to keep volunteering, Kasi di ba may mga volunteer fatigue, ganon. How do we sustain this thing we have, Ensure na everything's still running. As a head of a department, I would say those are the things that I think about, Kasi it's never just a one-time thing. It's never just a, just a thought in the dark. it's also always about sustaining these projects. This is long term, you know. When you promise somebody na, hey, you know what, we're going to do our best to help you. You're not just gonna do it for a week. You're gonna do it for a long time until until we seek the change that we need. Yeah. So I do think I would say in the future talaga, lots of challenges. No? Lots of
Yes.
challenges.
At ramdam na ramdam ko yung pagmamahal mo sa ginagawa mo.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
It's not an easy road, but it's a road that's worth
Totoo.
it. So thank you for doing what you do. But we'd like to ask you now, what is your advice to those interested in starting their own initiatives or organizations in the future?
Advice. Know your passions. I do think na one of for a lot of us, right? You know, as the youth, you know, when you really ask the question, what are your passions? What would you answer right away? Yeah. That's not an easy question to answer, right? But I do think na we should all take our time to really get to know what really inspires us, what really drives our emotions to do something, to be able to stay up long hours for something na you want to do, you want to really commit to. Kasi once you get that fire, no, then you start thinking logically how to go about it. What are your plans? Parang research on it, right? Like, how can I best contact the partner community? How can I best ensure like very well researched I don't know, possible pub na gusto kong i-post, ganun. And it's very important for a lot of us to just really take the initiative to start talaga. Just start. Even start baby steps lang. Kasi, you know, it's always about growth. It's always about developing, these big projects. They don't start with a big idea. They always start with a small one. It just so happens na people think of it as a big idea kasi, oh, may eureka moment. But I do believe kasi na small ideas have led up to that big moment.
Yes. So yeah, I really agree with that. Kasi sometimes people think na if they want to start an initiative or an organization, they should start big agad or it will become big agad. Pero I really agree that it starts with baby steps. It starts with small steps. Kaya and I really like na yung sinabi niyo po na it's really about growth. I think that pretty much sums up everything. But before we formally end this interview po, we would like to ask you po if you have anything to plug for our listeners, sa mga beshies natin, if gusto po nilang mahanap yung Initiative PH or the Initiative PH, saan po nila ito mahanap? Ano po yung mga social media handles nyo or yung website ninyo po?
Alright, so you can find the Initiative PH on Facebook, no? Just search facebook.com/theinitiativeph. Same goes for Instagram. And our website, it's theinitiativeph.org, no? Soon we're gonna have our next wave of applicants, no? If you're really interested in doing what we do, no? You should join us, right? And if tinanong no kung anong department, make sure you should go to our department because if you're interested, no, working with kids, no, right now we're partnering up with Payatas, no, with Fair Play for All Foundation kasi mag-tutor kami ng kids every Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's our current initiative sa Department of Children's Rights, but it's not really that formal yet. So Kasi we're just actually going to start this Saturday, our first meeting with them. So yeah.
Ayan. So, we would like to thank you po for lending us your
Yes.
precious time and para po sa
Thank you
inyong
so
mga
much po.
mga very enriching na mga responses.
We learned a lot.
Yes. We learned a lot po and we wish you the best of luck po in all your endeavors. So, thank you so much po.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, ayun, mga beshies, we have heard from our two lovely speakers today, diba? And it's very inspiring yung mga ginagawa nila. And talagang ramdam mo na talagang pinapalagan nila ang kanilang mga initiatives. So, ayun. Yan, Beshi J-Lo, magtatanong ako ngayon, wow, hot spot, hot seat. Okay. Ikaw ba, like, what's one cause, at least one cause that's very close to your heart na, like, if you had the chance or the opportunity or the resources, you would want to start? What initiative would that be?
Siguro ako, same with Miss Macy, mental health din. Kasi I really know the struggle, di ba? Kasi I had a relative before who is under the autism spectra. Tapos, hindi biro yung pinagdadaan nila, especially with the stigmatization na society sa kanila. So, parang napakahirap ng ganong situation. And we would like to educate society about these things, di ba? Para mawala yung stigma, mawala yung pagka-ostracize sa kanila, and to cater to more understanding. Kasi yun lang naman yung important eh. We understand them, we care for them, and we provide them the special needs that they require, di ba? So, I think yun din yung parang initiative na isa-start ko kung sakali man. How about you, Beshi? Ano yung sa'yo?
Ako, okay. So, diba, both of our speakers were like talking about passions, like finding what you're really passionate about, and like it's not an easy question to answer. But the thing is, I already have an answer because I've been thinking about it like a lot, and the only reason why I couldn't really like start or do something about it is because like there's so many ganap pa ngayon, and kailangan ko muna maayos yung like emotional capacity and mental capacity ko in order for me to be able to give like my whole best to any initiative. Pero ako kasi like sabi na very close to my heart would be, I think katulad ng kay Rafa would be for children. Pero specifically like I wanna help like end predators of children. Like I wanna end pedophilia. So like
yes.
Diba, like how do I say this? Like I've been a magnet for those kinds of creeps when I was young, and that left like a psychological impact. I was never physically harmed. So all I keep thinking about is if that has such a profound impact, like what more like the children have actually been groomed, have actually
That's
been
really
abused.
true.
Like I've heard of this initiative like in India. They tinuturuan nila yung mga children na like how to protect themselves, like how to know the signs, and I think that's good. Hindi ko alam kung meron na dito sa Pilipinas. Pero if ever, that would be like one of the things that I would want to do. Pero besides that, syempre, di naman talaga sa children yung responsibility to keep them safe. It should be the adults. Wala pa akong nakikitang initiative so far na tinuturo sa adults na okay, sign na pala to na may nangyari din sa bata. So, maski yung mga teacher, minsan yung mga magulang, hindi din nila nakikita yung effects dun sa anak. Like hypersexuality, for example. Like, a child being hypersexual, people are going to look down on the child and be like, oh, bakit ganyan? Bakit may pagpapalaki sa'yo? And they don't realize that hypersexuality is actually like a sign na may nangyari na sa bata. So like, you know, we should inform the children on ways to help them, help themselves, help them keep safe. But it's not enough. Dapat din yung mga adult ang ma-inform. Kasi syempre, as adults, we have more power than the children. And we should use the power, I think, to protect our children. So, yeah. That would be the one I think.
That's really nice, Besh, you know. Especially if you're coming from, you know, the experience came, like, naramdaman mo talaga or na-experience mo firsthand.
Yes.
Parang it really pushes you to Kasi ayaw mo maramdaman din yun ng other people
True,
eh.
true.
You don't want other people to experience the pain that you've experienced. So, parang doon nagsa-start yung, I can really agree na, di ba, some of the initiatives also start because na-experience nila yung ganun kahirap na situation and they don't want other people to experience it. So, ayan. So, I think that sums up our episode for today, mga beshi. So, we hope na meron kayong natutunan and for those na naka-listen or nakapagkinig sa aming episode for today, we would like you to share this information to others also. And for those who haven't pa, please like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Pares po both Cora and Chika, yung name. And we have a podcast po pala on Spotify named Cora and Chika. So, ayan. This has been your resident Chikadoras. This is J-Lo.
This is V.
Signing off and see you next time.